Hello, Cancer. Elsie here to do a bonus read for you. Cancer, how are you? Thank you so much for clicking here. I do appreciate you. Look, I just wanted to say thank you so much for the ways that you loved me on the last video. Thank you so much for your support. I appreciate your clicks, your views. Thank you for your thumbs up if you did that, and thank you for your hype. I'm going to be reading in a bonus read for you today, and it could pertain to you in a past, present, or future energy, depending on what lens you're bringing here today. Bring your discernment. Figure out if it's for you or not. Let's find out what's going on for you. Cancer, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter. And hey, don't forget that there are private reads open. Please check the pinned comment for the link to Hypsee. Go check out my packages and prices if you're interested in that. Tell me about Cancer. What does Cancer need to know in this bonus reading, please? Well, I asked for Cancer, and Cancer appears. There we go. We got the Queen of Cups here. Tell me why the Queen of Cups is here. We have the Strength card. And we have the Six of Cups. Someone's drawing you in. It feels like something or someone is drawing you in emotionally, Cancer. But I feel like you are practicing the courage of withholding or holding back. You are holding back your feelings, holding back your emotions. Look, I don't know if that's any more Cancer than we could ever talk about in the first few minutes of a reading. Somebody here is holding back, really wants to move forward, but is afraid that I'll go too quick. Then I think that you're so passionate about what's going on here that I feel like you've either met someone or that you feel nostalgic about someone. Like maybe they remind you of someone else, or it gives you the feeling of, it feels like you've got a feeling of something that made you very happy in the past. Let's see what else is going on here. Tell me more about Cancer. We've got the Eight of Pentacles. There it is. It feels like you are going over the details. It feels like you're a perfectionist. This person has to not match 10 of the 15 criteria. They must match the 15 of the 15 criteria. I feel like you are really going over details. And look, I feel like you're protecting your emotional energy, Cancer, because I feel like you're a Cancer who has really worked hard on yourself. And that you're really hard on yourself. But I feel like you've worked so hard on yourself to build yourself up from here financially or maybe emotionally that you're just not ready just to give it over to anybody. And I think that's why you're holding back. From a distance, it does feel like all of this. It feels like all the best things that you could feel. There's a kitten sitting here. Fluffy toys are sitting here. There's a gingerbread house and reading a book that's giving a lot of good energy. Look, you know, it's a lot of, I'm going to say it's a lot of good memories, or in your mind's eye, you're feeling really good because it reminds you of how you felt in the past. We've got the King of Wands. And so you are practicing the wisdom of knowing the slow burn. I want to say that your kingdom is this. It feels like you've built a financial stability in your life, or you have built yourself brick by brick, but I also feel as though you've been burnt to the ground many times. I think that you really see your own value. And although that you're kind of hard on yourself, I think that this Eight of Pentacles is actually protecting your deep, I say that with 100 deeps, deep emotional energy. The Strength card is telling me that I do have the courage, but I am holding back. And even though this feels really good, like when I was a kid, or it gives me this feeling of nostalgia, that I have the wisdom. I have a lot of wisdom. I've had this feeling before, and it's burnt me right to the ground. And the King of Wands is somebody who has gone through exceptional turmoil in their life. That's how they became the King of Wands. Everything that came to kill them only made them stronger. It made them more resilient. This is somebody who has had to rebound in life many, many times. So I think that you're being more picky with whether this situation is for you. Look, I could, with this Pentacles here, I could be talking about a job. I could be talking about changing jobs. I could be talking about a relationship, a new relationship. It feels like from a distance it looks really good, but you are very cautiously optimistic about whether or not this is something that really is going to be good for you. Look, Temperance says yes. Temperance says it's going to be good for you. I feel like with temperance, it's saying wait. Like, that's what Virgo would do, right? Virgo is very patient. Virgo is going to wait. I'm going to wait, and I'm going to see that if I get up one day and and I am feeling great about doing it, then I'm going to do it. But Virgo is like, I don't know, I'm going to go over the details first. And if everything checks out in the analytics, then maybe I will just decide to move forward. But I feel like temperance plays a big part in that. Because temperance is like, the only time that temperance shows up is when everything is in its perfect state and we're doing a go. It feels like you wake up one day and you're like, yep, I'm ready to move. I'm ready to do it. I'm ready to sell the house. I'm ready to go in the relationship. You will be so sure that you will do it immediately. But I'm going to say, if you wake up and you're like, oh, that thing's still on my mind and I don't want to face it today, then that's not temperance. That's not the moment of alchemy. Tell me about the Strength card, please. Holding back with courage. Lovers, just saying. Oh, yeah. Sorry, I'm having a conversation with Charlie in my head. Charlie's my guide. The Seven of Wands is here. And the Knight of Pentacles is here. So the thing is I feel like you're looking at this long term. You're looking at this as a really long journey, and you don't really care how long it takes you to get to the outcome. The outcome to you could be put a ring on it, could be living together, whatever it is. I feel like you don't really care what the outcome is. You're just willing to be here to enjoy the journey. I do feel like if you're a cross-watcher and you're watching this, that you're like, what is taking them so long? I'm going to say, friend, don't hold your breath. Cancer is going to take a lifetime to make a decision because they want to do it once. They're like the Taurus of the water signs. They're going to take their damn time to make their decision because they only want to do it once. They don't want to be hurt. Because when Cancer pours out the top, they give everything. And they're just waiting to see if the person is worth it. See if the situation checks out analytically. So the Lovers is here, and there is a choice to be made. I feel like somebody is waiting for the other person to possibly stand up. I think that you're waiting to see what sort of boundaries are here. Because someone who doesn't have any boundaries is a red flag, right? Super red flag. So I think that to you, the Seven of Wands is a good thing. That might be something that may make you step forward just a little bit onto the path where we're going to start this journey. That might be the deal breaker for you. You might make the choice to go just because you see that this person is willing to move slowly because they have boundaries. I think if they do have boundaries and they make you wait, and it's a very long process, I think those are a bunch of green flags. Tell me about the Queen of Cups, please. We've got the Five of Pentacles, and there's the whole issue. It feels like you have been hurt before, you've been cut out, you've been ghosted. It feels like your feelings have been like totally not been taken into account. The Five of Pentacles tells me maybe you have not been in a relationship for 5 years. This is something that you take really strategically and really seriously. The Nine of Cups is here with the Ace of Cups. They both fell out together. It does feel like there's two cups here, right? There's two cups here, and it does feel like there is, that maybe you've already deepened a bond with this person. They do feel like wish fulfillment, but I think that you are still having this Five of Pentacles lingering in the back of your mind. That this has come up before. We've made it to the 9 before. And then I got ghosted. And that's why I think you're being really careful. That's why the Knight of Pentacles is here. That's why the boundaries are here. I think you're feeling all of it, and it terrifies you. I think this feels like a repeat. Like if this could be a repeat of what happened back there the last time you got ghosted or you got hurt. It feels like this could be a repeat. Am I just letting this happen again? Is that what's going on here? The Six of Cups says the Seven of Cups is here. That the Four of Swords is here. I just finally healed myself. Because I think that possibly, Cancer, you fell in love with potential that maybe you couldn't see through the illusion. Although I think that underneath the surface that the water or the intuitive side of you was saying, I don't trust it. I think you were worrying. So if you have the same feelings now about this commitment or this long-term thing that's coming up, Could be a job. Could be you're signing off on a contract for a year, right? It does feel like it could be a work contract. It does feel like, yeah, I've been at this door before. The Six of Cups makes me feel like it's reminiscent of something that made you happy back there, but also you're remembering the Seven of Cups, which was maybe, the last time I got hurt because this was all an illusion, and I couldn't really see past the illusion. I just wanted to see all the opportunity, and I didn't really want to get the swords involved. So we now have Five of Swords, and we have the Four of Swords. That's 9 swords. There's worry here. Worry that once I get so deep into it, that's the only time I'm going to find out that there is fundamental differences, that we really aren't moving in the same direction, and I just finally healed from the last illusion. Tell me about the Eight of Pentacles. This is a new connection for you, if this is a love connection at all. If it's not, it's something new that really makes you heart happy. So it makes you feel almost content within, because Temperance is here. Tell me about the Three of Pentacles. Got the Death card. Oops. And we've got the Knight of Swords in the reverse. Bottom of the deck is the Hermit. So I think you are. We've got both cards of Virgo here. Look, I feel like you are holding something or someone to task. I don't think you're looking at the car saying, you know what, it has everything that I want except it's red and I want a white car. I don't think you'll buy it if it's not white. I think this time you're not giving up anything on your checklist. Whether that's a person, a job, or something you're about to purchase, the Death card is here. The Death card is here, and it is an ending of something. I think that you are no longer, I think it's breaking your silence. I think you're no longer staying silent about the things that you want, about the things that you require. Because you might as well know up front, that way before you get knee deep in all the water, so you won't get hurt. I feel like there's something to be at risk here though, because the Three of Pentacles is here. And it makes me feel like possibly this person is someone you work with, or there's something else attached to it that's high stakes. You're in the same community, maybe it's a neighbor, you're in the same group, a cooperative, collaborative group, maybe a network. It feels like you know this person through another person. So there's a lot at risk here. And so this Pentacle energy, this Three of Pentacles is going to end if you decide to speak up. I think you've been quiet up to here, but I also feel like you have questions because the Five of Swords is here, and it feels like more questions than answers. And the last time you didn't ask the questions and you got stuck with one of these swords, the fundamental differences. So we've got the Four of Swords. That tells me that you're clear, that you know you've jumped in before and not known all the details. So now what do I do from here? I feel like the Death card is also here with the Knight of Swords to say, I can't remain silent. Because the Knight of Swords is moving slow, but it's also not really saying what they need. I feel like that's the test, friend. I feel like that's how you find out if we have fundamental differences. You lay it out. This is what I need. This is what I will not go without. If the car has everything I need and it is red instead of white, I'm not buying the car. If this person checks off 14 boxes and I have 15, then I'm not going forward. I feel like you're willing to hang out. You've gained a lot of wisdom. You've been burnt to the ground before. You're resilient, and you're not giving up your kingdom to just anyone. We've got the Ten of Cups, the Two of Cups, and we've got the Star. So this cannot just be hopeful love. This is somebody who you need to bond with first emotionally. See how much they're willing to tell you emotionally. How much are they willing to exchange with you? If you feel the Ten of Cups in the exchange of the bonding, which I feel that you're hopeful about, and I feel like this is what you've manifested, I feel then probably you'll move forward when Temperance shows up. And Temperance is a feeling of, okay, I have no doubts. I have no doubts now that this is what I want to do. The King has their eye on it though, because the King is like, something like this has hurt me before, and I'm not about to have to bounce back. I don't want to be resilient again. Temperance energy is the Seven of Pentacles. We've got the Queen of Wands, and we've got the Devil. You're really, really attracted to somebody here, and that might be your weak point, Cancer, because the Devil is here tempting you. It's temptation with the Queen of Wands. There's an incredible attraction here. But you know this could also end up being a lot of work. So the question is, are you willing to throw your seeds of intention and nurture this thing? Because for you, you're nurturing, but it's going to be a long-term thing, right? You're not just going to be doing this for the fire. But I think that the devil's got you by the brains, because it feels like this Queen of Wands energy, whether this is a feminine or a masculine Queen of Wands, it feels like that this is what's wrapped around you. I feel like you're really attracted to this person. This person is really strong. This person is resilient and strong. And look, they've been through a lot of stuff. It feels like you are mirroring each other. This is a mirrored energy. This person seems like a hard worker. They seem like they're willing to take risks. If you are, they'll take risks with you. But is this the temptation? I think that you should depend on your intuition and wait for temperance to show up. And that is when you have no questions. When you are either willing to give up the 16th thing on the checklist with no question, then move forward. And if you're not, then you know it's not the right time. Tell me what the outcome is for Cancer. We've got the Page of Swords. We've got the Five of Cups. And the King of Pentacles. So I think you do want to settle down. But I do think there is a worry. 9 Swords. I think that the worry is that you're not ready to make a decision right now. I think you do want to settle down, because the King of Pentacles, the thing is that I think that you've done really well financially, or that you have enough. Like, maybe you're not a millionaire, right? But I think that you have enough, or maybe a little more than enough, because the King does. But the King also spoils their person, right? The King is also the one who's the overgiver, who is always going to want to settle down, provide, buy the house, build the house. And I feel like you've been through this before, because the Five of Cups is here. Will I regret it? Will I regret giving all of my emotions, my energy, my time, my effort, my money, my house? I feel like you're going to hold back just a little bit, because the King doesn't do anything quickly. The King is really slow moving. But the Page of Swords is here, so I think you're going to observe from a distance to figure out whether this is for you or not, and wait for temperance to show up, because the 9 of Swords is here. And it is telling me that right now is not the time, because you're worried that you're making the wrong decision. Now look, not all empresses are created equal. There are some people who can show up and look like the Empress, but they really don't have all of the wisdom. So this could be a situation of maybe this person's older than you. Maybe this person has their own abundance. Maybe they're somebody that hasn't told you they have their own abundance. I feel like this person is independent, because the Queen of Wands is here. But is this person too independent? Will they just go off and do their own thing and tell me, I'm just going off to do my own thing and I don't care what you say? Because the King wants to have a certain amount of control, not only over finances, but over the kingdom. So I think that you have a decision to make here in the future about whether or not the Empress is the one for you. Because listen, for those of you who are not in your Emperor energy, the Empress is the one who's going to make their own decisions. They make unilateral moves, and they may check in with you and say, look, I already made my decision. This is what I've decided. But maybe that's not good, because maybe you want to have control of the kingdom. So I think that there's a decision that is coming up to maybe possibly get together with this person, send a message, maybe give a little bit of a gift, or maybe spend some time with them and get to know them slowly, so you don't have to jump in on anything that, because like I say, I think that you don't do the cha-cha. I think, like Taurus, you are a person who goes there and stays there, and it's forever. It's for a long time, because the King is showing up. That's what it feels like. Okay, I'm going to leave this right here, Cancer. I hope any of this that I said is something that resonated with you. And if it didn't, that's okay too. And I'm going to go for now, but I'll be back, because I'm always back. Thank you for all the ways you love me. Thank you for your comments. Thank you for your thumbs up and your hypes. I do appreciate you so much. I'm going to go for now, but I'll be back with the weeklies, because I'm always back. Take care. Bye-bye.